Welcome to the Little Tin Cans channel. Today's project is on the 62 Chevy 1-ton. Going to be changing out the steering box. I got an adapter for the power steering from the 79 front suspension that I swapped out into this truck. And let's get started. I'm going to require a couple of things here. First off, obviously, is the power steering box adapter. Now, there's going to be a couple of holes to drill, and I thought that this adapter would end up being wrong for my truck. I have a 62, and 60 to 62 is supposed to have a different frame than this has, but I'm guessing the reason why I'm having the issues I'm having, and well, it's a good thing, is that it's similar to the 63 to 66 frame, and I'm guessing it's because it's a 1-ton. And the title on the truck says 62, and the frame numbers match the VIN number on the truck. So I'm going to guess at this, but I'm guessing they made these trucks in the 1-ton in this year the same as the newer trucks. So first I've got to go ahead and remove the the socket from this. Yeah, there we go. Get the right size socket. There we go. And the right size wrench. This one happens to be a 3/4. And we'll see if I have a big enough wrench for the back one. Yep. And it is also 3/4. I've had this steering box off. This steering box is just on to hold the suspension in the right spot while I steer the thing around, pushing it. It's a lot easier to push when both wheels are going straight. So I'm going to go ahead and take the nut off here. Long-winded one. And I'm going to give it a little love tap. People will freak out maybe, but I'm going to tell you that is loose now. Like I said, I just had to do that because I put it together. There's a taper to this, and that taper will hold it in place even if it's not that tight. So let's go ahead and get this steering box off and buzz this off. Supposed to be 3 bolts that hold this, but I only had 2 of them in there just to hold it in place. Not like I'm driving down the road with it or anything. Alright, this comes with an inner and outer plate. This inner plate goes into the frame here, and it's basically just to make it a little more structurally sound on this piece of the frame, because sometimes they crack. Now, this is the first time I've had this out, so we'll take a look. I know that there's going to be some holes that we're going to have to drill. And I believe that if we go here, there's supposed to be 2 holes that line up. And it looks like they do. This one in the top corner here. And I believe we'll go ahead and stick a nut on that. Now the bolts I'm using right now are the ones that are original to the frame. And it looks like this bottom one here matches up as well. Now, I was kind of hoping that I would be able to show how to do the 62, the earlier frame style, in like the C10 and possibly the C20s. But, unfortunately, or like I said, fortunately for me, my frame doesn't require that. So what I'm going to do now is going to go ahead and mark these two spots for the holes that we're going to have to drill. Those are 1/2 inch. So we're going to take a 1/2 inch. Now this is from Harbor Freight. I went ahead and grabbed myself some of these punches. And these are called transfer punch set. That transfer punch is basically so that you can put that into the right size hole and get it perfectly centered. And then this one right here. Now, by the way, this is the steering box off of the 79. I cleaned it up and went ahead and painted it, so I didn't film that. The reason why is because I thought it was kind of boring. Anyways, so now I can go ahead and take that back off real quick, drill those holes out. And if you notice, there's threads in this one right here. That's because it goes into the frame right up against here, and it's on this lip that's on this side here. So there would be no way to put a bolt in there from the back side without adjusting this bracket some. And I guess there's some geometry here that's going to help keep that lined up with the steering column the way it should be. Now my steering column's missing, but I do have the rag joint on this steering box still. I'm going to probably end up using that. It was in good shape. When you do this, if you have the steering column in, you need to cut off a portion of the steering column, put your piece in, and then shorten that section up and put on a new part that'll hold on to this tile rag joint. Go by the year of steering box that you're using to make sure that you're getting the right adapter piece to go up onto your steering column. Nice little marks here and here. I'll go get the drill. Nice fresh battery. I'm gonna use a step drill for this. Another Harbor Freight purchase. I like these hexed shanks because these hand-done chucks never seem to tighten up the way I'd like them to. Now, a lot of times I'll pre-drill these holes with a 1/8 inch drill bit, but being a brand new bit, I think we can drill 2 holes without too much problem. Maybe. I'll go get it. I'll make things a little easier here. All right, let's try that again. This happens to be a 1/2 inch at the end here, so this will be perfect by the time we're done. And we'll make sure that that fits. Perfect. A little small for that one, but that's okay because that one doesn't belong there. Should be good for that. By the way, there are no instructions that came with these plates. I've followed other people's information to go ahead and know where this needs to be. So let's go ahead and get these bolted back on here. They have another hole here for alignment. It's supposed to hold it in place there while we put this on. I believe that we should be able to manipulate this. I should be able to manipulate this so that we don't have to worry too much about that. If I tighten this one bolt up tight enough, it'll hold everything in place well enough. Plus, I'm going to be running a bolt through from the back side anyways. So I'll hold this in place here for now. So, bolt's going to come through here. Bolt's going to come through here. And these are the bolts that are going to go and go into the back side of the column here, or excuse me, the steering box. Grab a wrench. All right, so they're there. Go ahead and take this back out. That right back out. Now, the steering box. It is going to need one hole drilled out, and that's because of this one right here. And I suppose I should probably put my inner plate in. Almost screwed that up. On the 62, on the C10s, the 60 to 62 C10s, this plate is too big to fit in there. And the frame doesn't come up this high. Guys end up having to put a cut here oftentimes and then put a piece of tubing in there and then weld that in. Like I said, I'm not going to have to do that. Half inch through here, kind of line things up a little bit. Make sure the other bolts will come through now. Good there. And a little bit of love tap there. Just to come right out, see what happens. Good to go. So, this is going to go up against here, and the reason why you need this plate is because of these here. These shim this out because the original box does not have this hump here. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. This hump here, original box doesn't have that, and it's not recessed either. The original box, if we look at it, it's flush mounted basically up against the frame. So what I'm going to have to do is drill this one hole out, and I'll do that right now. Almost drilled the wrong one. And I think that didn't go through all the way. I'll have to grab another bit. Half-inch drill bit. Nice sharp bits are a must for this. Loosen that up just a little bit. Loosened up. I'm going to make this super tight. I'm going to snug this up just a little bit. There we go. Now it's kind of critical that I get this part into there first, because otherwise it will be a real monster to try and get in there. Go. Get a bolt or two here. And before I get too excited, I need to put the bolt in this direction. But as other guys have pointed out, I'm going to have to find a bolt that's a little bit shorter than what they give you. And I believe I'll have to buy that bolt. I don't know that I've got one handy. Either that or I'm going to have to cut one of these down. But for now, let's get these three going. And I will go ahead and put this nut on in front here. Castle nut back on here, so we've got that correct. I'll tighten everything up later, but for now, now the new bolts are 5/8 head. And power steering's on. And within reason anyways, that is how you mount these up. Still got a bolt here to go, but like I said, I'm gonna have to cut something down and get it screwed in there. I believe they gave me one. That's this one right here. It's fine thread, but I believe it is way, way, way too long. There's just no way that I can get it past here. So I guess that's it for now. I'll finish that up another time. It won't be too long. Hope you enjoyed, and power steering. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Follow more on the 62 Chevy Pickup Project.